Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, April 18th just went by, and guess what? It's probably the biggest day for every cruiser out there in North America ever. Okay, you're going to think the biggest day I'm talking about is the first story, but it's not. It's the second story, so hang on for the second story, but I still have to cover this first story because it's really good news as well. The official ban on cruise ship in Australia is now over. They did not renew it. It is gone. And as of the 19th, the first cruise ship, the Pacific Explorer, sailed into Sydney Harbor. And to much fanfare, there were tons of boats out there to welcome her into the harbor. They had the spray boats from the fire boats out there going. They had tour boats out watching, and people lined around Sydney Opera House and that just to get a glimpse to welcome back for the first time in over 2 years a cruise ship in Australian waters. And that's right, the Pacific Explorer, P&O's cruise ship, was the first one to get there. Now, amidst all that great news and everything, the sadder news on that is that it's not quite ready to sail yet. I believe it will be. The Pacific Explorer, I think, is going to be the very first sailing out of Australia for a cruise ship, but that won't happen until May 31st. So a little bit longer to wait, but the ship is there. People were welcoming it, and it was basically a really good celebratory day in Australia for all the people who have been waiting for the cruise ships to come back, not only as passengers to take a cruise and finally be able to sail from your own country, because cruisers were sailing from other countries. They just flew away, took a cruise, and came back. And they were saying to the government, hey, if I can fly to someplace, get on a cruise, take a cruise, and come back, why can't I just sail from my own country? And now they finally will be able to do so. So good news there. That is really good news. And that was April 18th as well. But that's not the big story. The big one that affects every single person taking a cruise in North America, Canada, and the United States. Okay, well, you know I'm going to do this. Let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button before I get to the big news, to keep yourself up to date with all things cruising. This news story is something everybody should know. If you got stuck during the pandemic and were looking for your money back and all kinds of problems happen, this would be an important story for you. So hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything. It just tells you, hey, here's another video, and it keeps you up to date with all the cruise news and stories about cruising from across the world. Okay, enough of my sales pitch. Enough of my sales pitch. Sales pitch, but it doesn't cost anything. That's a pretty good sales pitch. All right. On April 18th, for the first time since 1881, the Passenger Vessel Act was actually changed. It wasn't amended. It was changed. And the now new ruling on those changes is that every single passenger, if there is a delay in a cruise, like what happened with the Norwegian Escape when she couldn't sail because of repair issues, or if the pandemic hits and they can't sail, every single person is entitled to a cash refund. Not future cruise credits, not FCCs, right? You're entitled to your full money back. And this goes as well for third-party booking agencies. So a lot of people ran into trouble when they went onto some websites that are cruise or travel-related websites, and they booked through that travel website, and then when they got canceled, they said, okay, well, just give me my money back. And they said, no, you got future cruise credits, and you have to call us back to book your next cruise. And a lot of people got stuck there, where they couldn't get their money back. and there were lawsuits issued, and people were frustrated. People needed that money, right? All of a sudden, people found themselves losing their jobs and not being allowed to go to work because of shutdowns and closures and orders from the governments, both in Canada and the United States, depending on where you lived. And so people needed that money, and that money was tied up, and they had a hard time accessing it. Some people were told, you'll get your refund in 90 days. Well, 3 months is a long time to go without sometimes $5,000, $6,000 on your cruise trip. Not to mention the airlines. Some of the airlines just said, yeah, you can fly with us when we start flying again. So now a lot of that, especially for the cruise ships now, the Passenger Vessel Act has been changed, and you can now get a full refund. And that is now law as of April 18th. Big, huge change in the industry. One we should have been happening a long time ago. Can you imagine a law that hasn't been changed, other than don't kill somebody, in 1881. 1881, folks. That's a long time. We had laws like you can't spit on the sidewalk and you can't tie your horse up too long in front of the barn, like on the post. That's how long this has gone on. So yeah, pretty darn good to have this finally changed, and passengers have that extra protection now. If we ever get into this situation ever again, or even just a cruise ship can't go, you can get your money back. And that is finally great news. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. We'll see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world. Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.